Mike Hord yesterday had a fireside chat, and Mike, he does a great job. It's a place where we can all come together as founding members of Unpassive, or people just looking at Unpassive, and really just throw it around, get our questions answered. Mike runs the fireside chat. Usually has Marty DeGarmo to help him out, and he just does a marvelous job at that. And yesterday was no exception. Except something happened yesterday. We had a surprise visit yesterday. And that surprise visit was from Ash Mufareh. And it's always a joy when Ash just pops into something because you never know what to expect. And as usual, Ash dropped a bomb, and I've been thinking about it ever since. And what I'd like to do today is talk about what Ash said yesterday, and I want to keep it conceptual. And the reason I want to do that is because what Ash talked about, he talked as a portfolio, a group of tools putting them together to do what he wants them to do. So I'm going to talk conceptually today, and you're going to have to fill in the blanks. It will not be hard to fill in the blanks when I get done. But yesterday, Ash talked about marketing. And we know if we look at the marketing platforms that are out there, and that's all the social media platforms, it's the search engine platforms, Google, Facebook, Twitter, all of those are marketing platforms. That's how they make their revenue. And if they don't market, if they don't have people coming on and marketing on those platforms, they don't make any money. So the marketing revenue for these individual companies and platforms, very, very important. Let me give you a couple of numbers. As we look at all of these marketing platforms, I did a quick search this morning, and I came up with a number of about $250 billion. That's the revenue all of these platforms make in a year, give or take. Again, it was a rough search for that number. But I came up with about $250 billion a year. Okay? That's $1 trillion every 4 years. This market is massive. And that's when I say, when Ash started to talk about this, my ears perked up. This is the biggest thing Ash has ever talked about since I've been listening to him. And he's talked about some massive things. But again, as he talked about it as a portfolio. In other words, a group of tools coming together to allow Onpassive to do what they want to do. So let's talk about these marketing platforms, $250 billion. What are they doing for their customers? And their customers are wide ranging. They're personal, they're small, medium, large size businesses, probably even governments that will actually do marketing on these platforms. Now, I've been doing this for quite a while. I know what kind of traffic we can get on the internet today, and I can tell you it is junk. Unless you know how to game the system, it's very, very hard to get those good qualified eyes in front of what you're doing, having them come in and start participating with you. And I know all of these private institutions that have come on and bought traffic from these platforms, they're getting really, really tired of not getting the results they're expecting from the traffic that these individuals are driving for them. Really, really important, because there is a need here to get good qualified eyes in front of what you're doing, specifically what you're doing. Now, what if a company came in and could actually do that, actually get good qualified eyes, specifically targeted for what you're doing? It would change the world. You know, when we think about Onpassive, Onpassive is not here to take over the world. That's not our goal. Our goal in Onpassive is to change the world for better. And if we can come in and help these really, really good companies throughout the world get good qualified eyes in front of them, people that come in and are looking for what they have, actually looking for what they have, Wouldn't that be a marvelous thing to do? Because you're not only satisfying those manufacturers, those people with a service or a product, but you're also satisfying those individuals who are looking for that. And anytime you can do that, obviously companies have more sales. Perhaps they can lower the cost. That'd be a great thing. I don't know if that'd happen. That's just conjecture. That's just what I'm thinking. But it's a win-win for everybody. Now, if we can do that and we come in and we can take say 50% of that market, of that annual market and that annual revenue, what happens? When we talk about these other marketing platforms, when they get all this revenue, and it is massive, yes, they have to pay their employees. Yes, they probably give their stockholders a dividend. But the majority of that money goes in their pocket. And these individuals, with what they're doing, whatever platform we're talking about, they're taking that money and they're keeping it. And they're getting as rich as they can, they're getting as rich as they can get. That is not Ash Mufareh. That is not Onpassive. And if we can come in and take 50% of that away in a year or 2 years, very, very conservatively, 3 years, and we're bringing in an additional $1.25 billion, not one, $125 billion. This is one portfolio, one module that Ash has put together and is going to put out there and offer to the world. If he can do that and bring that kind of money in, Ash Mufareh is not going to put that in his pocket. He is going to share that with the founding members, you and I. And if you're listening to this for the first time and you are not a founding member, you have not come in and paid that $97, you need to think about it very, very hard, because this is one thing that Onpassive does. There are so many other things that are going to be happening, all of them as dynamic as what we heard yesterday. So if you're not a founder, continue to explore Onpassive. You will come in, you will pay that $97, and when Onpassive launches to the world, which we're very, very close to, you'll be able to participate with everything Onpassive. And remember, Ash Mufareh, he shares everything with the founding members. Lives will be changed. You know, we have such great talent in Onpassive, from Mike Cord, who puts on the Fireside Chat, to Michael Williams. And this is a good place to segue into the compensation program, because when you start to understand the magnitude of the business Onpassive is going to be bringing in, going into the compensation program will give you an idea of what it's going to do for you. Now, I have talked about the compensation program in the past, but I would rather you go over and watch one of Michael Williams' video. He did a video, I think the 16th of December. It is just absolutely stellar. And Mike is very, very conservative. That's why I want you to watch his video. I am not. I get a little carried away, and I believe the numbers, and I love the numbers as much as Mike does. But if you have the chance, especially if you are someone just looking at Onpassive and you haven't joined yet, I would recommend you run over and take a look at Mike's webinar on the compensation program. It will blow you away. And then when you understand this portfolio that Onpassive has put together to specifically direct toward marketing online and what's going to be happening, it's a really, really exciting time for anybody that wants to change that financial bottom line. So again, we have great talent: Mike Cord, Mike Williams, Marty DeGarmo, and so many other really brothers and sisters around the world. Our talent pool is so large right now, whether it's Papua New Guinea, whether it's Africa, whether it's Europe, whether it's the two Americas. We just have great people throughout the world. But you are in a great position to really take care of that future that perhaps today you've only dreamt about. If you're just in Onpassive, continue to explore Onpassive. Do not stop. Believe me, you are not wasting your time, and you will find a way forward. If you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, I always recommend you do that, because I never know when Ash is going to pop in, and when he pops in, he always drops a bomb on us. And again, it is just getting better, better, and better. If you haven't been to my Chords Fireside Chat Saturday, yesterday it was at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we usually post that in our Facebook group. That's down below. You can run over, take a look at it. It's just a great place to go and toss it around. If you have questions, some of the great leaders of Onpassive are always there. They will answer your questions. And believe me, there are no dumb questions, and the answers you will get will blow you away. That's how powerful Onpassive is. But obviously, go on down, subscribe to the YouTube channel, click the bell on the right, and you'll get notifications as I do more videos. We're just having so much fun now. Come on in and join us. Join us. Pay the $97. Become a founding membership. It is life-changing. So that's it for today, guys. Guys. Have a great week, and I know we'll have more for you next week, and when it comes, I'll be on and we'll chat with you. Take care and just have a great week. Bye.